Yo, what up, world? Welcome here to today's session. This is your man. I am your man, Michael. Over deliver. Baptiste bringing you yet another exciting session. And I want to open this up with wholeness, high vibrations, and greatness. Send that energy your way. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to have you here because this is our number 2 interview with the video and audio media legend, Mr. Vernon Foster. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time introducing him today. In fact, he has a lot of exciting information that he's going to share. So I'm going to really be giving the floor to him today and allowing him to share with you some of the results he's been able to help other people produce with video, audio, and just media in general. So without any further ado, let me bring onto the stage my friend, my brother, the man, the legend himself, Mr. Vernon Foster.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Burn it, 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 burn it.
Get a pipe. Get a
pipe. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Vernon. How are you, man?
Oh, beautiful here. Beautiful day here on the East Coast. We're getting some heat. It's hot today in New York.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's hot.
Beautiful, man.
So, but it's great. I'm glad to be back here. I know yesterday there was a lot of Q&A we went over. We got a lot of gems out and saw a lot of familiar faces from the community. Shout out to all the people that, tapped in yesterday. Excited to be back, man. Just excited to be back and share, some of the results, right? Because that's what matters at the end of the day. You can talk about vanity metrics all day. You can talk about views, but if you're not making any money, if you're not magnetizing clients, then why are you doing it?
Absolutely, man. I agree with you. That's what it's all about. It's the results. And you've been able to help a lot of people get results over the years. That's why you're still in business. That's why you're successful, right? And that's why you're still growing and thriving. And so I wanted the focus of our conversation today to be about some of those results, some of those case studies,
Sure.
right? Some of those people that you've actually helped. So what I want to do, man, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the space to you, allow you to share some of your case studies. And I want you to, talk us through how you've helped some of your clients. Tell us a story, like tell us what actually happened, so that way we can get a better idea and a better feel for how it is that you work and help people get results.
Yeah, totally. So I think the first one that I will share, like the first, story, it's a guy named Rhett. And, Rhett's actually, he's from down under, he talks with the Australian accent, fresh shrimp on the bobby. But Rhett is, he's a very introverted individual. When I met him, several months ago, he was very much an introvert in all aspects, right? And he is actually a home renovation coach. So if you didn't know those exist, right? He's somebody that basically helps, people renovate their home, right? When you're bringing in modern appliances, you want to modernize it. He's the guy that you go see. And so he knew that he had to be on video to basically start selling his high ticket program. He knew that he had to figure out a way to make it happen, right? And so one of the things that we did when we worked on together was really just building his confidence, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people, may say, oh my gosh, like I have no video experience. I've never done this, which in his case, that's like he'd never recorded a video. And he was definitely terrified of like he would basically pick up the camera, like the phone, and like his hands would shake, right? That's how scared he was, right? And I want everybody to know, like, you're not alone if you feel that way, right? Like it's completely normal to feel that way. And so one of the things that we had to do when he worked with me closely is to build his confidence in order for him to build that belief that he could actually do it, right? That he could actually put himself out there to have success, to be able to sell high ticket, to be able to, start building that foundation, to build the 5-figure, the 6-figure business and beyond. And so one of the things that I did with Rhett is something, and this is a little gem for anyone who's like definitely afraid of being on camera. We built up like a yes set, like a repetitions, right? So just like you would go to the gym and you would work out, right? To build a muscle, video is a muscle too, right? You being in front of a camera is a muscle. So, what we did was I had him basically record, well, not record. I had him jump on his phone and just not record to put it out there, but record on his phone just to build up the repetition. So he would record a thank you video and just send it to people that was close to him and his family, like his partner, his parents, his close friends. And he would just record videos on his phone, for like every week. That was like the stretch, right? Go and record a video, put yourself out there. You don't have to post it on social media because that's like completely terrifying for him, right? But send it to a friend, build that, send it to your mom, tell her how much you love her for changing your poopy diaper when you're a baby. So we did that. And over the course of the next couple of weeks, he realized that, okay, like now I have the confidence. So the next step was, he had already built this, a small Facebook group, about 200 people. So he already had a sizable, Facebook group. And so the next step, once he had built the confidence by getting the repetitions, was to actually go live, right? It was to go live. And so there came a point where it was just like, okay, either you're going to, do this or you're not, right? And so he had the confidence. He believed that he could do it. And then it was just a conversation of, okay, are you willing to stay stuck where you are, or are you an entrepreneur and you're going to push through and you're going to just do it, right? So it was a screw it, let's do it. And he did his first live. Now, on his very first live, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking about his 100th. I'm not talking about his 50th. I'm not talking about his 25th. I'm not talking about his 10th. His very first live in that group. He went live. He said, listen, he was completely authentic. Listen, guys, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm here and I'm in service to you and I'm showing up despite me being scared, terrified, completely freaked out because I'm an introverted person and I don't want to be doing this right now. As a result of how he showed up, vulnerability and standing in his power on that one live, he sold his very first high ticket program. 5K, just like that on his first live. Now I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's going to happen for you, right? Like that's pretty extraordinary, right? It's extraordinary, but think about if he never did that. Think about if he stayed stuck in his head, and put yourself in that position. I want you to kind of think about, like, if for all my introverts out there, raise your hand, you know who you are. I want you to think about what your life would look like if you were willing to take the step, if you're willing to get coaching, if you're willing to build that confidence, what that could mean for you. So maybe you're thinking about it, right? You haven't got your first client. Even if you are already working with clients, right? Like, video is foundational, it's critical. And there's a couple points there that I just want to tap into. I have this philosophy of make ugly videos. And if you ever hear me or if you ever see my stuff, you'll see I always say it's kind of one of my like monikers, like make ugly videos. And so he literally embraced and embodied that concept of make ugly videos. He went live despite, not having it all figured out. He was honest, right? That level of honesty and just being frank and saying, look, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just out here because I'm here to serve you. And I know that this is the best way for me to get my message across and connect with you and build that trust. So Rhett is well on his way. Now he's having tons of success now, going live in his Facebook group. The business is growing. He's well on his way to creating something for his family. I mean, he has a little boy and a little girl. They're sweet. I see the pictures that he posts on Facebook. And, think about how awesome that feels to know that he's building a foundation for his family. And what was in the way? It wasn't the technology, right? It wasn't that he needed to get the right microphone. It wasn't his lighting was off, right? Like, It was none of those things. It took him building the confidence muscle and then being vulnerable enough to go live, to do it, to say, screw it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to press play. I'm going to hit record. I'm going to hit live, right? I'm going to hit go live, and I'm going to do it regardless of how I feel, regardless of what's in my head. And that has made the difference in him. That made the difference in him beginning to launch his business, right? That's his first 5K client. And he was ecstatic when, when he messaged me. He's like, dude, I can't even believe, I can't thank you enough. I can't tell you how cool it feels to be able to just, on my very first live, to say I landed my first high ticket client. So it's possible, guys. It's not just reserved for, people who you're like, oh, they're super extroverted, or of course they're naturals on video, right? Of course, Vernon is brilliant at this, right? It just comes so naturally to him. That wasn't the case for Rhett, right? He's introverted. He's definitely terrified of being on video, and you might be that way too, and that's okay. But with a little bit of coaching, with a little bit of building his confidence through getting the reps, and just him knowing that he has to step out on that ledge and jump. He has to take the leap in order to build that foundation that he's going to, support his family on at the end of the day, right? So that's what's at stake. The stakes are high. It's not just about you getting on video and getting some vanity metrics. It's not about you just going live to look good. The stakes are high, right? This is the difference between you, getting to six figures and not, right? Had he not done that, he'd still be in his head. Had he not got those reps, had he not built that confidence, he doesn't get to live the lifestyle. He doesn't get to live the dream. He doesn't get to build a future for his kids. So to me, that's a beautiful story. I love Red's story because he was willing to take the leap. He was willing to build the confidence. He didn't try to, pretend that he wasn't something he was not. He got vulnerable. He went deep and he said, look, I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. I don't know what I'm saying, but I know that this is what I need to do to connect with you, for you to trust me, for you to be like, this is my guy. And as a result, boom, 5K.
And it just shows the power of when you have the right techniques, the right strategy, the right information, and take action with it. You don't need all the fancy tools. You don't need the fancy camera, the fancy lighting. You just need to be able to give the information, take action on that information. I mean, that's super powerful, man. So where's that client now? You know what I mean? Like in terms of his business, in terms of growth.
Yeah. So his group has continued to grow. So his Facebook group has continued to be a part of his business. He's doing weekly lives now, right? He went from doing no lives to weekly lives. And I believe last I checked, he's on this like fifth or sixth client, right? That he's gotten just from continually showing up, right? And that's not paid. He's not using paid advertising, right? I'm not even talking about Reels and TikTok and all. Like, I'm just talking about him basically going live to his community, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine that, right? Imagine how that could feel and be for you if you're out there listening, my introverted friends. It's not just the people that have the charisma and the shine, right? It's you too. You can do that by just being authentically yourself, which is a lot of what I teach in my program. That's a lot of what my coaching is. I'm holding people's hands and I'm taking them through, and I'm getting them to believe. I'm giving them the belief until they can believe in themselves.
Excellent, man. I love that. Giving them the belief until they can believe in themselves.
100%. 100%.
So, can you, you shared a great story here. Do you have any other stories that you can share about other clients you worked with in the past, and how totally. The process went to help them get results?
Yeah, totally. So, Andrew is another one of my guys. I've been working with closely over the last few months, and he's kind of an interesting guy. He's very successful in his career, and back in beginning of the pandemic, he started a financial, I guess you'd call it financial education company, right? By basically putting out content. He has a website where he basically educates people on, the different options out there in terms of how you can, balance your portfolio, how you can manage your credit, your debt, your income, right? Like how all those things are tied together. How can I get better loans? How can I lower my interest rates, right? Or use credit cards to move over balances. And so he was, Andrew is a very unique individual because he basically, I think it was at like 15, his mom was working like 5 jobs, and he was like, "Look, Mom, I don't want you to have to work this hard. I'm going to learn about personal finance. I'm going to learn about real estate." And that's what he did. He eventually went on to purchase his first home. I think when he was still in college or right out of college. I think he was like 22 or 23 years old, something like that. Bought his first home, started to learn investing. And so he has the skill set. He has the knowledge on how to do these things, right? He's not just an influencer who just on day one was like, "Hey, I'm going to show you how to do this thing. I just did it once," right? He has a beautiful track record of showing people that. So Andrew took that knowledge and he built a course with that knowledge. And there's one problem though, right? He found out very quickly that just because you have a course, just because you build it, doesn't mean that they will come. So what did we do? Well, I sat down with Andrew. We basically took him. We filled out the application. We did an assessment and saw his strengths, his weakness, the opportunities, the threats, right? Almost like a SWOT analysis. And we built out a custom plan for him. So it's like, here's what you need to be doing on Reels. Here's what you need to be doing to fill your course. Here are the types of testimonial videos you should be getting, right? And all the way down to, just so we make it dumb proof. And I'm not saying he's dumb. I'm just saying like the less that you have to think and the more that you can just show up and do the task, that's what's going to be, that's what's going to allow you to create the results that you need, right? So a lot of times entrepreneurs, we get so caught up in everything else, right? We're like, "Oh, my landing page has to be this way." And it's like, he's a very technical guy. He's a very analytical guy. So it was, okay, like, let's break down to the basic. Here's the things that you need to be doing to fill your course. So when we met, he had 0 course sales. Over the course of us working together it was actually a very short time. It was only 90 days. We're able to get him from 0 to his first $2,000 in sales. Now, you may be saying, "Oh, well, that's not a lot of money." Okay, well, that's actually part of why it was important to work with me, because one of the things we uncovered with working with Andrew is that he wasn't charging enough, right? For his level of skill set, for his knowledge and expertise, the course he wasn't charging enough. So one of the things that we did was we helped him raise his price. So he wasn't just like, low priced, he was premium priced. And also we expanded to build a high ticket coaching program on the back of his course, right? So now instead of charging, $197, now you can charge $297, $597, $997. And then in terms of, the high ticket coaching, right? 2, 5, 10K, right? So on the front end, just in that short period of time, we're able to get him from 0 to $2,000. Now that's a lot of money from if you're just getting started. Now for all my 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs out there, you may be laughing at that, right? But you started from 0 at some point too. So it's key to keep that in mind. So how did we do that? What were the strategies? What were the things that we put in place aside from the intake and putting together a specific plan for Andrew? Well, Instagram Reels played a big part in that. So I won't go into the strategy here. That's something that we'll talk about on Friday when we go into the workshop, or tomorrow when we do a live demo, which you guys definitely should be here for. Is it's basically looking at the assets. So he had a Reels, he had a IG account where he was doing okay with his reels, 200, 300 here, 300. And so it's like, okay, we need to put together a specific strategy that ties directly into the people that you want to buy, your course. So the course is focused on first-time home buyers, right? And so if you're talking, in terms of like his content, right, it wasn't aligned with his audience. So part of the mistake that people make, they just put random content out there. It's like random acts of content. Oh, well, today I'm going to talk about real estate. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about stocks. The next day I'm going to talk about how to create a side hustle. And wrong. If you're creating that kind of content, it's not going to drive people to your high ticket offers. It's not going to drive them to your courses. And beyond that, you're going to be just getting a bunch of different audiences, because those are like 3-4 different types of people. So we honed in on who he needed to talk to. We honed in on making sure the content spoke to the pain and the problem. So the natural step was to purchase the solution, right? The solution was his course. The solution was the coaching. And as a result of that, he, like I said, he made $2,000 in revenue just off of the back. I mean, going from 0 to 2,000. Again, no paid traffic. This is all video. Another thing we implemented was using video testimonials. Now, he didn't have a lot of social proof with the course. So one of the early things we did on is like, once you get results immediately, we need to show you how to build testimonial videos, right? And not just, like the boring, hey, this was a great product, I really loved it. That's whack, right? It was very, and it was you wanted to tug on the heartstrings. Those are the types of, video testimonials that we had him, have his clients create with our formula, with our recipe, right? So as a result of that, now he has social proof. And now those are videos that he can share on his reels. Those are videos that he can share on TikTok. Those are videos that he can share on his personal Facebook page. And man, you should have seen it. I was so proud to see those testimonials drop and people be in the comments and, saying, oh man, I had no idea that your course and your coaching was this powerful. You're changing people's lives, right? Like that's the stuff that really just makes my heart sing, right? It's like knowing that not only are you selling a product, and the clients that I work with and my students are selling a product, but it's actually making an impact on people's lives, right? And even down to him, kind of understanding, like having that belief. He's like, okay, now I know that video is the key. Now I know how to do the reels. Now I know that everything needs to speak to the pain and the problem. So my content, my course rather, and my coaching is the natural solution. It's a natural progression. So Andrew, shout out to him. I love what he's doing. And he's a perfect example of how somebody can think they're doing it right and maybe have the pieces in place, but it's really about, kind of shifting things and understanding the strategy behind it and understanding the types of content that you need to be putting out. And as a result, again, from $0 to $2,000 on a course that he just built, right? That he had literally just built as he started working with me. He just wrapped up the course. As a matter of fact, we actually pushed off working together because he was finishing the course. And as soon as he finished the course, I was like, all right, let's get busy. Let's get to work. Let's get some money back in your pocket. And boom, 2K, just like that.
Bam, there you have it. I mean, that's phenomenal. Congratulations to Andrew and his success story. And, being that you were able to help him go from literally like just have the idea, had the course, but nobody selling it, or nobody buying it, to being able to bring in a $2,000 in sales so far, man, that's amazing. That's for the people that have been in this space for a while, maybe that's not a lot, but for the person who's getting started, looking to change their life, man, that's everything. It's everything.
For sure.
Man.
For sure, because it builds that belief. Now he's like, okay,
right.
I have the opportunity to actually leave my job, right? If I want to double down on this, Whereas before it was kind of like, oh, I built this thing. It's kind of cool, but okay, like if who's gonna like no one's coming here. Oh, okay, I actually got to use video. That's the missing ingredient. That's the link.
Absolutely. Man, phenomenal case study, man, and congratulations once again to Andrew. But I want to know, man, because we're almost running out of time. I want to know, do you have any other case studies, any other stories that you can share about some of the clients and people that you work with and how you've impacted their lives?
Yeah, one of my more recent ones is Selena. She is a business coach that helps online. Excuse me, take some water. She's an online business coach that helps entrepreneurs get clarity around their message and confidence, really. And so she was actually already she was already kind of getting her first customers. She was already at the 5-figure mark, right? The low 5 figures. And what we identified with her is that, okay, there's some things that you're doing right, but how do you crank it up? How do you, and for example, right, with her content, she was very nervous about transitioning to call to action. So whenever she did a live, whenever she did a reel, whenever she put out a video, there was almost like this subconscious block, right? There was something that she wasn't like comfortable communicating. She wasn't asking for the sale, right? She wasn't comfortable asking for the sale on video because for whatever reason, let's say like that felt like incongruent with her. It wasn't in alignment with her. So what we did was really just, okay, how do you create the content? And this goes back to strategy. How do you create content that makes your call to action the next logical step, right? So instead of, just talking about, just random sharing your story, right? And this was some of the feedback that she got was that like people were like, you're telling too many stories. Like we need tactical things, right? So we shifted to not just sharing stories, but like tactical. Here's what you can do to build your clarity in your business, to build your confidence, to understand, how to approach your audience, and to have that confidence to put yourself out there and get what you're worth. So in terms of the messaging, the key there was having her create content, whether it be her recorded videos, her lives, her reels, her TikToks, was to create content that allowed her the space to feel like she still could be herself, right? So the issue here was that she felt incongruent. She felt like kind of like a salesperson, right? A used car salesperson when she was making that transition to her call to action. Now, that alone, right? Now you may think in your head, oh, that's such a small thing. It doesn't make a difference. She's, that's not going to have a big impact on her business. So she went from low 5 figures to now she's crushing it, man. She just upgraded her gear. She just bought a brand new camera. Like, granted, she's farther along, right? I usually tell people don't like jump in and buy new equipment. She's well on her way. She's reinvesting in her business. She was in the low 5 figures. She's making her way into the 6s, right? I'd say like in the next probably month or so, she'll be at the 6-figure mark very easily. She's scaled up she's not doing one-on-one anymore. She's moved to more of a group setting. So obviously she's able to charge more. She's able to work with more people, impact more people. And to me, it's so cool to see that because you think, man, like that's such a small thing, right? Just tweaking, right? Tweaking call to actions, right? And really it's not about the call to action. Really, it's about her having the confidence to show up as who she is, right? And that's the importance of having a coach. That's the importance of having an expert in your ear that can identify what it is, right? She thought it was call to actions, right? And on the surface, yeah, it may look like call to actions, but what was below the surface was that she wasn't confident with being who she was. She wasn't weaving the content into how she authentically shows up in life. And that's one of the things that I want you guys to remember. If you're doing this stuff, if you're trying to be on video and you're saying, I'm gonna fake it till I make it, not gonna work. Not gonna work. You'll be able to do that for a short amount of time, right? As she was able to build her business to the low 5 figures by just, kind of just chugging along. But what really made the difference, what really allowed her to get to that next level, was showing up authentically as herself and standing in her power. And that's the result of us working together. That's the result of the tools, the strategy, the frameworks that no one talks about, right? Everybody tells you to just jump on reels. Everybody just tells you, oh, just record a TikTok. It's going to be great. I don't tell you that. I tell you the truth. Say, hey, your first couple videos are going to suck. You need to get to a place where you can authentically show up as yourself. You need to have strategy. You need to know what you're going to talk about before you press record. You can't just wing it. You got to have a system in place. You got to have a framework. And more importantly, you have to have somebody that's supporting you, right? You have to have somebody that's pouring in your cup that can help you believe in yourself until you can believe in yourself. And that's why I love Selena's story.
Man, that's a powerful story. That's a powerful story. And congratulations to you, Selena. I mean, you work with a lot of people, man. You've helped a lot of people. And this is amazing to hear. And I want to hear more about it, but unfortunately today we're actually out of time, man. So yeah, for those of us in our audience who's watching this, what are your thoughts so far? Like, what are your thoughts on what Vernon shared today with these case studies? Were these great? Were these helpful? Were these supportive? Were these beneficial? Please let us know in the comments below. And if you're tuning in on another platform, I mean, just let us know with some feedback, because we do want to hear from you. And that's that's one of the best things. It's like when other people can borrow your belief and use your belief for themselves, man, it's a game changer. It really changes the game for them. So what would be some final things you could share for those people who are out there who are listening to this, right? They're tuning in and they're thinking about it, but they're not sure, really how to start using video, and especially with your case studies that you shared today. What would be some final tips that you leave our audience for today?
You have to start. And I know that sounds cliche and silly, right? It's like, Vernon, start. Okay, that's like so basic, right? But if you're not visible, if people cannot see you, how can they buy from you? How can they build that affinity, right? How can they know you, like you, and trust you? How can they even know what you're selling? It's crazy, right? So you have to be willing to go to the edge, right? The edge of the cliff, whatever that looks like to you. That might be reels. That might be recorded video. That might be lives. That might just be whipping out your phone, like my guy Rhett, and just recording videos until you build up the confidence to actually, share it with your audience, right? And so that's the key to start. Now, once you start, that is not enough, right? Because starting alone, information alone, won't get you to where you got to be. As you can see in Selena's case, yeah, you can probably hit the low fives. Yeah, that's good. Not bad money. But right, if you want to build something that's sustainable, that's scalable, that's where the strategy comes in. That's where the framework comes in. That's where the coaching comes in. That's where the mindset comes in. It's not just about confidence at that point. It's about strategy. It's about really understanding who your audience is, how to talk to them, how to show up, when to show up, what to say. Those are all things. It gets meta at that point, right? It gets tactical at that point. But before all of that, right? Before you get to 5 figures, right? Before you get your first client, in Rhett's case, right? In Andrew's case, going from 0, you have to start. And if you're not willing to start, guess what? I got bad news for you. And I'm a positive guy. I don't like to give bad news. There's enough bad news in the world. Here's the thing. If you don't get on video, your competition is on video, right? If you're consuming somebody else's content, guess what? Your audience and your clients are consuming other people's content. So it might as well be your content, right? If you have the time to consume, you have the time to create. Let me say that one more time. If you have the time to consume content, you have the time to create content. And it's better to start today than to wait. Always better to start. Even if it's ugly, even if you don't know what the hell you're doing, right? It's always better to start. And if you're an entrepreneur, hey, that's what it's about. You don't get to live in your comfort zone. You don't get to play small, right? And why would you want to? Why would you not want to be a hero to your customers? Why would you not want to be the hero to your family? Why would you not want to be seen and heard and loved and admired for not only what you do, right? Because that's important, right? What you do, the results you create, but how you show up in the world. And that's the byproduct of all this, right? Like, yeah, money's great. Influence is cool. But you authentically showing up as yourself, man, that changed millions of lives, because you know what? That gives people the permission to know that they can do it too when they see you. So that would be my advice. I'm excited, Mike. I'm so excited for tomorrow and definitely for Friday, because with this workshop, I know we're just gonna blow socks off and blow the roof off, and people are gonna be like, the roof is on fire. We don't need no.
Oh, keep going. I thought you gonna keep going.
I let that's my DJ coming out. That's when you turn down the volume and you let the crowd say, "Let the mother burn."
Burn.
That's burn, and then the music comes back, and they're like, "All right." So yeah, man, that would be my parting words. I want to see everybody back here on the next segment. We're going to be doing some demos tomorrow. I'm going to walk you guys through my Reels strategy. I'm going to be showing you guys some behind the scenes stuff. And, on Friday, the next, it's going to be, that's going to be where we go deep. You're going deep. And again, like, y'all should thank Mike. Y'all should actually Venmo Mike right now. Y'all should Venmo him a bunch of money, because I'm doing this off the strength, right? Obviously, if you want to work with me, there'll be a link somewhere around here. If you want to just you're like, I see the value in this. I'm ready to, to skip the line, right? To go straight into VIP, and I see the value in what you're doing, right? That's 100%. That opportunity is open for the right people. We do a lot of vetting. We're very particular about who we work with, of course. But Mike has asked me as a favor to show up here for you to deliver this value, because he knows how important video is for your business. I mean, he's the high ticket guy, right? So, video plus high ticket. Ooh, that's like the 1-2, like Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather jab right there. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what we got next.
Absolutely, brother. Same here. I'm excited as well. And so for those of you who are watching, look, if you're excited, let us know you're excited in the comments. However, what we're going to do now, like all great things, baby, we're going to wrap this baby up, because we got more in store tomorrow. We got more in store on Friday. We got so much greatness planned. And please attend, please show up, please tap in, because you will want to be here. You 100%. Will want to be here. So please tap in and please be here with us. And Vernon, man, thank you again, brother, for your last final words. Thanks for coming and sharing value, for dropping some great gems in our community. And man, I appreciate you, bro. I really do. I appreciate you.
You got it, brother.
Awesome. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed. Please share your comments, share this video. share with others, or audio, like wherever you're listening at, tuning in at, please share this with other people that deserve to hear this information just like you did today. And with that, we are now out of here. It has been your man, Michael, over Deliver Baptiste, with our special guest, the legend, the man himself, Mr. Vernon Foster. All right, with that is it, everybody. Take care, and we will see you guys we'll see you guys in the next day coming up soon.
Peace.